All right, Shane, but moving on, we had a hell of a game here in Fayetteville where the Arkansas Razorbacks beat Mississippi State 31-28 in a back-and-forth game, Shane. Arkansas jumped on them early. I believe it was 10-0. It was looking like the Razorbacks were going to dominate. Will Rogers had kind of come down to earth after his incredible performance against Kentucky. And then all of a sudden, man, did he turn red hot again. He finished with 417 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he did have the interception. But Mississippi State almost stole one here, but it was KJ Jefferson, again, 19 of 23. My goodness, 191 yards passing. And Dominique Johnson, Shane, the guy everyone's been calling for down there to run the ball more, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, looking like a young Jerome Bettis. And Treylon Burks, Sam Pittman said, we got to get him more involved. 6 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 3 rushes for 39 yards. But this was similar, Shane, to Tennessee, Kentucky, but it was a lot better defense because, we had the Razorback linebackers were playing tough. We had Mississippi State getting after Arkansas. This was back and forth and back and forth. And Mississippi State, unfortunately, Shane, missed every field goal they tried in this game. Mike Leach after the game saying open tryout for kickers because he tried a different one there after missing a couple with the game on the line. They shanked it, not even close, and that was the difference in the ball game. But again, this is one Arkansas desperately needed to get their season right. This is like a season-saving win. I know Mississippi State fans pretty pissed off. I think they have a little bit of reason to be upset. The final call there on Treylon Burks, I thought that was a bad call. Kept the game alive for Arkansas, but you still had chances if you're Mississippi State. You had an opportunity to stop the touchdown. You had an opportunity to stop the 2-point. You had an opportunity to kick that field goal and tie the game, and you didn't get it done. So I don't think you can put it all on the refs. But, man, this was one hell of a game. This is kind of what I expect every time Arkansas and Mississippi State battle. You just never know who's going to win, and it's going to come down to the wire.
Hell yeah, man. And I think that's the thing with Mississippi State. It felt like they used up all their good luck against Kentucky because it was going the opposite direction against Arkansas. Every little mistake that they made just seemed like Arkansas was there to capitalize on it. But yeah, that's what it was, man. You knew what the recipe needed to be for Arkansas. You get your boys involved. It was good seeing Burks get involved. It was good seeing Johnson get involved. The only thing that looked better was those uniforms and Coach Pittman. Man, I love the little hoodie / sweater things they got going on down there. So I bet Arkansas bought a shit ton of those this weekend because it was a good game. It was back and forth. If you wanted entertainment, Mike, this was the game to watch because similar to like the Tennessee Kentucky game, it almost felt like, okay, who's going to hold the ball last on this thing?
Yeah, and one thing coming out of this game that kind of pissed me off, Shane, at Mississippi State, they're probably going to take a hit. They may even drop out of the rankings. I hate when that happens because when I watch a game like this tells me these teams are basically even, and the game's in Fayetteville. Yeah. I think you elevate Arkansas to the ranked, and you leave Mississippi State in there because I don't know, it's asinine to me. This is the SEC, man. This is battling back and forth, 2 good teams just because one had to go down. And again, had they made all their field goals, they win this game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's not like they lost like we just saw Florida Gators. I mean, this was a back and forth. Could have easily been won by Mississippi State. So I think they both got my respect after this one.
Absolutely, man. I think that's a good – that is a great point, Mike. And I hate the polls sometimes. Don't get me started on Cincinnati and their tight game against Tulsa. But, you look at teams like that and you're like, why are they there? Like, do you literally think if North Carolina – oh, here's a prime example, North Carolina State, Mike. What happens if North Carolina State and Mississippi State meet, Mike? Do you know what happens?
Mississippi State won.
Kicks their ass, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to keep them in the top 20 because they beat Florida State that hasn't beat anybody? Come on, man. So, yeah, I'm with you on the polls. That is a great point. I wish we could just throw it out, man. I wish the SEC we'll just do our own thing, and then we'll send 2 teams to the college football playoffs.
KJ was 19 to 23, 191 yards and a touchdown. Also had a big run down there towards the end of the game. What did you think about his play?
I love him. I mean, he was so poised, in that 2-minute drive. I think once you do it once or something, you become more confident. And we had I'm not saying I knew we were going to go down and score, because that's a lie. But I felt confident that if we got the first down in that drive, which we did fast, I felt like we could score. And then my biggest concern at that time is when to call a timeout and when not to, because, we went through the same thing against Missouri last year, and I was trying to leave it as, be smart, but leave it as few seconds. But the kids, KJ, he really has gotten better. He's poised. He's a heck of a quarterback. So I'm glad you brought him up. But going 19 for 23 and no interceptions, he played a heck of a football game.
I guess you can never feel comfortable until there's zeros on the clock. 21 seconds, and they drive down there and have a chance to tie it.
Oh, I knew they was going to miss it. Oh, shoot. I hate it for the kids, and all that. But
Sam, you stressed on Monday, got to get the ball to Dominique Johnson. You did that. And he was really big on that last drive, at the start, and obviously scoring the touchdown, a 2-pointer. Just what'd you think of his performance and the way you guys got him more involved?
I think it was awesome. He's done that all year. We just haven't been giving him the carries, to be honest. He's done what he did tonight every time he's out there. And I think I'm looking here, he had 17 carries for 107 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's better he's good everywhere, but he's better as you wear him down. And you saw at the end, the line, he didn't have to break any tackles, on that 4-yard run or 5 there at the end. And then I think he just walked in on the 2-point conversion. The line got better as the game went on as well. I thought they played another really fine game. But it's good to see Dominique do what he did, especially with more opportunities. And obviously we started.
A lot of fight in the football game for you guys, but late in that ball game, it seemed like the field goals were a bit of an issue for you guys all night. What are you seeing or hearing or thinking about special teams right now?
Well, I think that there's an open tryout, and you can announce this. There's an open tryout on our campus for kickers. Anybody that wants to kick or walk on and kick at Mississippi State, we'll hold a tryout anytime you can get over there to our building, providing you're cleared by the NC2A.
Mike, early on, I think Will started 0-4 and the offense struggling those first couple of drives. What do you think him and the rest of the offense kind of did to turn it around there after the game got going?
We weren't in sync that first half. We squandered too many plays the first half. That's the biggest negative to this game. We got back on track, but we squandered too many plays and opportunities the first half on all sides of the ball. And, we allowed this thing to be closer than we had to, and we lost.